Ladosha Wright, the author of Curly Hair Adventures, What They Don't Tell You at the Hair Salon, and the Beauty and Barber Survival Plan. And you are at my YouTube channel again. Welcome, welcome back. Now, if you are new to my YouTube channel and you're wondering, what is it that they don't tell you at the hair salon? I am the actual hairstylist who cares to divulge the secrets of what they don't tell you at the hair salon. I'm about making hair care and hairstyling practical and very user-friendly to everybody in the world with my very three simple, easy plan of global hair care solutions that has basically three principles to hairstyling. And that is, I don't care what anybody says, hair care and hairstyling are about three simple things: the right products, bing, the right tools, bing, and the right techniques, bing. So that's what I'm here to break everything down to everybody when they visit my channel. It's just that simple. Today I'm having this wonderful, wonderful discussion about what they don't tell you at the hair salon about hair grease versus hair pomades. Now, before I get into it, I just need y'all to do a couple of things. Number one, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That's right. Come on, give me some more followers, okay? Number two, share the content because someone might be interested in this topic. Maybe, you just like, I tried to tell you that, but you didn't want to listen. See, hear what Ladosha has to say. So you can also use it for some bragging rights. And then, sometimes you just might want to just share with somebody who wants to know about hair grease versus hair pomades. All right. So now I'm going to jump right into the topic. All right. So here's what they don't tell you at the hair salon. Now, I know y'all might not believe this, but let me tell you, every time before the pandemic now, when I would go out and I would just mention that I'm a hairstylist, I could be at a restaurant, I could be at a party, I could be at the grocery store, I could be, just anywhere, the doctor's office, and someone will maybe compliment me on my hair. They may like my hair color. They might even crack on it. I know people really do crack on my hair color. And so, that gives me the opportunity to say that I'm a trichologist slash hairstylist, or rather I specialize in trichology and I'm a cosmetologist. So whenever I tell someone that, you know what happens, right? All eyes on me. I become Tupac for like 5 minutes. So I get my 5 minutes of fame when I'm sharing with people what I do for a living. And you won't believe the number one question that always comes out of people's mouth. And that is, how can I get my hair longer? Or how can I get more hair, meaning more fibers per cubic inch? So that's like the number one question that I'm always asked. So I'm going to call this a deep dive post, okay, a deep dive video. So my deep dive videos, I have to go deeper than Atlantis, like the X-Clan. So some topics I can just zip right through. But this one about growing hair is going to take me a little bit longer than what I would like for it to take. So just kind of bear with me as I break it down to the very last compound, all right? So here's what they don't tell you at the hair salon about growing hair. So number one, growing your hair is free. Now, provided you don't have any hair disorders or you're not having any medical conditions that's impeding the growth of your hair, such as like alopecia, advanced stages of balding or thinning, maybe you're on certain medications that's going to stop the hair from growing, then we're going to push that over to the side because there's nothing that I am qualified to do, and I don't think there's much available in the medical community that can reverse something that may be already predetermined or predisposed to just not grow at all right? So now we have that over here. Now, when it comes to actually getting longer hair, you have to understand two simple things. Number one, it's a genetic assignment, meaning you're going to probably get that genetic trait from both or one of your parents. And then number two, it's going to be about your overall health. So when it comes to genetics, I'm not a geneticist, but basically Our genes are given to us from our mom and our dad. And so with that being said, however, the hair growth or the number of fibers you have per cubic inch, that is given to you pretty much in vitro while you're developing in your mama's belly. And so that's when you actually were assigned how many numbers of hair on your head and how long it would grow. So that's one. Now, number two, after you got that assignment, as humans, you have to do a few things that's going to help with the hair growth. Number one, you have to drink a lot of water. Number two, you have to boo-boo. Number three, you have to get some fitness to get the blood flow going. Number four, you have to eat some really good nutritionally sound food. And number five, you have to get some rest, okay? Why? Well, when you drink water, it helps with the cellular communication so that the so that the vitamins and minerals that's in the food will know where to go and what to do. So, sip on some scissor. Okay, water. All right, that's number one. When it comes to bowel movements, it's all about what? Getting rid of toxins. So make sure you're having really good, healthy bowel movements. Not the constipated one, not the pellet ones, not the runny ones, but good old-fashioned George Dookie stick of boo-boos. If you know who George Duke is, hit that heart button, okay? All right, number three, you want to make sure that exercise. Why is exercising, why is it so good? Because blood flow is what nourishes the hair and makes it strong, okay? And then what about that good old-fashioned sleeping? You have to get some rest because that's when your body replenishes itself. And then food, I think that's pretty much self-explanatory. When you eat your foods, you're going to get your vitamins and your minerals and all of your nourishments and your nutrients from your whole foods. Now, I know sometimes you're not eating your peas, you're not eating your liver, you don't like beef and all this so on and so forth. So sometimes you can take supplements to offset what you're not eating or what may be missing from your diet. But I will let the nutritionist guide you as to what's going to be best for your overall health and not just your hair, because after all, as humans, it's all about the whole, not parts, okay? So now we have that over here. Now, when it comes to growing hair, it's free. I'm telling you guys, it's 100% absolutely, unequivocally, indubitably, without a doubt, free. And that's because your hormones are what's responsible for making the hair physically sprout from the scalp. Now, another thing that happens when I'm a cosmetologist, or while I'm working rather as a cosmetologist, is that everybody is like smarter than a hairstylist. You know, like everybody's smarter. All of a sudden, everybody's smarter than Anthony Fauci. Everybody's smarter than, the CDC. Everybody's smarter than an epidemiologist. And everybody's been smarter than a cosmetologist. So what I like to do what's called live the bibliography. So as the author of a book, you know what? We have to write some things that are factual. And when we write things that are factual, we have to do a couple of things. Number one, we have to give credit to the source. Number two, we have to name the source. Number three, we have to identify who wrote the source. And then number four, where did we get it from? So what I like to do is just bring it to life. So there's no better way than to bring the science of hair to life than with my homegirl, Skinny Scales. I don't really go anywhere without her. She's at my job. She's like my ace cone boon, okay? She my jigger, my gerb, my jelly preserve. This is my boo thing right here. And so she helps me make this conversation more user-friendly because I don't like talking down to people. I surely don't like to get into debates. And a lot of times as cosmetologists, nobody really believes us, which is why I wrote the book, What They Don't Tell You at the Hair Salon. It's a companion. It's a helpmate. It's actually a self-help book to help navigate both the cosmetologist and the consumer through understanding what they really don't tell you at the hair salon and why, okay? So Skinny Scales is gonna help me break this down. So when I'm charged with the task of explaining how can I get longer hair and how I can get more of these fibers on my scalp, typically what happens is people will identify these are the methods that I'm using to help promote growth. So some of the things that I'm hearing are like they're using infrared light technology. They're wearing the hat with the infrared light technology inside the hat. Some people are actually taking supplements. Then you have some people that are using actual medicine, such as Rogaine, which is the brand name, but minoxidil is the actual FDA approved ingredient. And so, and then some people are actually, just doing like scalp massages. So those are the types of things that are disclosed to me about what people are doing to actually get their hair to be longer or to physically get more strands of hair on the scalp. Now, the last thing that people talk about using the most above all are hair greases. Now, hair greases are one of those things that has been around since the beginning of time. But the question has now become, what's better, a hair grease or a hair pomade? Okay, or a hair pomade. So here's what they don't tell you at the hair salon. Number one, I'd say this all the time, the world of sales, even in the beauty industry, is all about what? Semantics. We need to find some type of a catchy way to get you guys to come off of the dineros, okay? So how do we do that? How do we find the words? A lot of times we cross over into different cultures that have different languages, okay? So hair grease, of course, it's an English speaking word, okay? Hair pomade or pomade is it's a French word. And so it means, grease. So they're both the same thing. It's just what word that is the company or the marketing. The company may not have anything to do with it, like, hey, I just made some grease. Now, how we gonna sell it is the question. So that's where the marketing comes into play. So what they don't tell you at the hair salon, in all honesty, hair grease and hair pomades are the same thing. It's just semantics. Now, are they created equal? Of course not. Ain't nothing created equal here in the United States, all right? So here's how it goes. How do you know if I'm just gonna hold up some different hair greases or pomades. So who can remember Blue Magic? Remember Blue Magic or the group Blue Magic? Let the sad show begin. I just got hip to this. This is Nature's Blessing. Apparently, it's been around for quite some time, but I'm new, and it is Brooklyn in the house, all right? And then we have Deca Satin Pomade, and this is one of my favorites, okay? And then you have Brothers. What's up, bro? Hey, how y'all doing out here? We got some Morris pomade, okay? And then, of course, we have some Excellento pomade, all right? Pomade is a really popular word, all right? And then we have some, we can't forget old African Pride that ain't made by Africans, but that's another video, okay? And what about the long-standing, hey, Bronner Brothers have been around, oh my God, probably before I was even born. And this is some super grow. They didn't even identify if it was grease or pomade. They just broke it down and said, we so cold-blooded, we just gonna make your hair grow. And then we got some stuff. I found some of this like in the dollar store, but I remember this when I was a kid, and it was called hair food, okay? Now, no, you cannot eat this, okay? And so this one is calling itself, it's a grease form, as you can see, but you know what they're calling this? A hair oil, okay? So you gotta make sure that you're reading these the labels to make sure, because oftentimes what happens is most people have a tendency to cookie cut. So they feel like if you use Excellento and you use Murray's, they're pretty much, you see I worked at that Murray's, okay, Murray's, but from the hood it's Murray's, okay? So, or Murray's, okay? So these are manufactured by the same company. So some people will do what I call cookie cut. And so cookie cut is when they will take how they use the Murray's pomade and they will say, I'm going to do the same thing with the Excellento. And I'm going to say, X-nay that crap, okay? So these pomades are not for growing hair. Y'all like that? Woo-hoo-hoo. So these pomades are not for growing hair. How do we know? Because on the top, it reads new enriched formula for healthy hair condition. And then when you read the back, it's actually telling you that how to style your hair with it. So do not put this stuff on your scalp. And the same thing with Murray's. Now I know what you're saying. The beauty industry is artistic. And when you're an artist, you can take different things and do different things with them. Yes, you can, but then you will be watching this video and then you'll be wondering why you don't have any hair. Listen, guys, we have to respect what the company intended. Of course, there are products that are multifaceted, but I would lean towards let the company tell you if their product is multifaceted versus you just making it up. Or if you're going to partner with the company and you're going to be able to explain to them how their product is multifaceted and the company like rubber stamps what you're doing, then you know what? Power to the people. But if not, please, from a general all intents and purposes, for the safety of, the user, let's refrain from doing that, okay? Because it's not a good thing. An example that I could think of would be a lot of people who are trying to grow hair, they're taking monostat and they're using it to cleanse the yeast off the scalp. Please don't do that, because the yeast that's in your vagina is not the same as the yeast on your scalp. And I don't really think the makers of monostat really wants people out here promoting that you take a antifungal or a yeast fighting product that's made for vaginal yeast to use on the scalp. I know it's gross, but I'm telling you, I'm seeing this stuff on YouTube, which is why I decided to get on the platform so that I can do these deep dive discussions so that I can help you understand what they don't tell you at the hair salon and why it's so important that cosmetologists, we get out, we come from behind the chair, we come home, or maybe at our stations, and we just have these healthy dialogues with you, because sometimes in the hair salon, we can't talk about these things because we're in a rush, and then sometimes it's just agitating because maybe you can't find the words to articulate why you cannot cookie cut and use Excellento and Murray's on your scalp, or press and curl with this, or try to finger wave, with that. And this is not for, you can't just wet the hair and put this grease on there and start finger waving, because that's not what it's formulated for. You see what I'm saying? So that's what that's all about, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to explain to you what they don't tell you at the hair salon. And again, that's why I wrote the book, because it's a companion. It's going to help validate what maybe you already know, both the cosmetologist and the customer, and then also it will, maybe give you some insight, something new, something different. So again, my YouTube channel, my Facebook, my Instagram, all of these are not, about putting people down. It's about elevating us up with something like this, a living, working bibliography with my homegirl, Skinny Scales, okay? So which pomades do make hair grow or help promote growth? Now remember, what they don't tell you at the hair salon is nothing really makes your hair grow. Your hair growth is triggered, it's communicated, it's offset, it's kicked off, it's jump-started, it's fueled, it's charged by your hormones. And that's not anything that we can control topically. Number one, We're not doctors. So if you're going to be putting something on the scalp that can make the hair grow back, it has to be medicinal. And so the only thing that's over the counter that's FDA approved is going to be, again, your Rogaine, which is the brand name minoxidil. Now, a lot of companies are taking a little bit of minoxidil and they're dropping it into their products and they're saying that it's going to make your hair grow back. All I'm going to say to that, buyer beware, okay? Try to get this stuff, from your doctor, or if you're going to buy it over the counter, let your doctor, your dermatologist, or your holistic practitioner, let them navigate you through that. Do not watch these YouTube videos and go out and say, well, LaDosha said that I should use, or I heard LaDosha say that, minoxidil is the FDA approved ingredient to help hair grow. So I'm going to go look at a product, and as long as it has some minoxidil, it's going to help my hair grow. No, it don't work like that, okay? So hair loss is serious, okay? Hair loss can be indicative of something internal that's going on. Hair loss is also, again, it's hereditary. So maybe you might be just fighting a losing battle with the wrong stuff. So you just have to be careful. But again, this video is about hair grease versus hair pomades. And I've already explained to you that at this point, it's just wordplay. And make sure you read what the company is putting on the bottle or the jar to tell you what it's all about. So let's take Blue Magic. So Blue Magic is throwback, and it's telling you that it's a conditioner, but look at here. It says it's formulated for both what? The hair and scalp. So this one you can. So back in the day when our parents would put this stuff on our scalp, and a lot of people were like, I don't know why black folk be greasing their scalps. And that's because some black folks are ashy, okay? And ash, you know what ashy is, okay? And then sometimes, again, people could have scalp conditions, and maybe their dermatologist said, you know what, go ahead on and use a little what? Pomade or hair grease, because they can be formulated to be safe on the scalp. So so back to Nature's Blessing. So this one has a lot more healthier ingredients compared to Blue Magic, okay? So Blue Magic, their claim to fame is some good old-fashioned, like bergamot. So I'm looking at some of the ingredients on here. So that's their claim to fame. But you got a lot more mineral oils in some of these. Bronner Brothers, their carrier agent is coconut oil. So this is the hair grease. They're saying just super grow. Okay, Blue Magic is calling this a hair conditioner. They're not even using the term grease, but in the hood we say grease. Okay, satin pomade, but when you open it up, look at this, guys. All of them, I'm just going to open them up, and I'm just going to swing my camera down, okay? So that you can see, even though the various companies are using various terminologies or words, I shouldn't say terminologies, but they're just using different words. But when you when you look into the jars, you know what? Let me just swing my camera down here. I'm looking at my fat stomach, okay? All right. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So when you look at all of these, you know what you see? You see a grease, okay? So grease, I'm actually using that one, okay? A little hair in there, okay? So that is the actual hair grease. For sure, grease. Grease. Definitely. But they're saying that this is a actual oil. So again, you have wordplay, and so it's up to the company to how they want to describe or sell or gimmick or whichever word you want to use their products. You have to respect how the company is trying to, promote their brands. They don't want you cookie cutting, because what they're going to say to the company's credit is, well, we never said that you could do a press and curl with this. We said this is hair food. And you're like, well, I just was trying to put some tight curls in my hair. Well, they didn't say that. Murray's. A lot of guys like to use this for there it is on the back. You see that there? To help promote brush waves. Now the different formulations and how they're going to take these mineral oils, which by the way, some of them are calling them mineral jellies, like this one is saying mineral jellies. This one is saying petrolatum. Go figure. Okay. This one's coconut oil. This one's got lanolin. Some people are allergic to lanolin, so be very careful. I had a customer who was allergic to lanolin and she couldn't use it, and so they have a concoction of all types of. They've got lanolin. They've got mineral oil. They've got paraffin. So they have lots of different waxes and butters and balms and greases to make this one. So you guys see where I'm going with this? It's just that complicated, but you have to understand why they are doing this to bring about a different result for the scalp and the hair. So when it comes to making the hair grow, let's take satin pomade and let's take Nature's Blessing. We're going to use those two because they have more essential oils in their product. So a lot of people, I will hear them say, I don't like mineral oils because they're bad for the hair. I don't know where they're getting this stuff from. Mineral oils come from the earth. Now, I'm not saying everything, I mean, arsenic does too, but it'll kill you, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to say that everything that comes from the earth is safe, okay? But mineral oils, they definitely provide, you know, for afro hair, okay? So if you have frizzy hair, you know, coily hair or 4C, whatever word you guys are going to use this year, you need something to help reduce the friction so that the hair don't fall out. After all, that's what we're talking about. How can we stop this hair from breaking? Now, what's happening is when you have textured hair, your scalp is going to make this oil from the sebaceous gland. So look at my face. See, I'm greasy. Ooh, black and knees, okay? So I'm really, really greasy because my oil production is coming up. And that's right here from the sebaceous gland. And that's on all the fibers of hair on my body, from my eyelashes. I got little fibers of hair, you know, on my face. You can't really see them, but they are there, okay? So your armpits, your eyebrows, they all have a sebaceous gland. And so this gland is going to be secreted naturally, okay? The body has its own inner functions that's making this work. So once the scalp secretes the oil, it's going to slide down the hair, right? Well, but there's always a but. Doing the butt. Ow! Sexy. All right, so there's always a but, okay? But when you have textured hair and that oil gland secretes it, it gets trapped and it won't slide all the way down. And that's why we don't see the length as fast or as often on afro hair as we do on textured hair. So all of these companies have made all these various pomades or hair greases to help do what? Lubricate the hair so it doesn't break off. Now, granted, some people get a little carried away. I think we all have stories of grandmas and aunties and mothers who just slapped all this grease on our hair. And they, you know, let's be honest, you know, descendants of slaves, they were not taught how to do the hair. So we were robbed of a lot of stuff. Now, some of our ancestors remembered, you know, some things, and we did get some things passed down. But as a whole, it's really hard to find out what really did happen. How did they do this? So obviously it was very customized. So there is a lot. I shouldn't say there isn't a lot, but when I say it isn't a lot, I mean in modern day cosmetology, it's not promoted. But for certain, the ancients left a large blueprint on what they were doing to hair. And so they were using different oils and pomades and salves and balsams and all this kind of stuff. They really were. So we have to put something on the hair that's going to help lubricate it so it doesn't dry out. Now, if you're thinning, so let's say you're starting to see less hair. So like this scalp, it doesn't have a lot of fibers. That's because naturally, as you age, they shrink, and then the hair takes on the size of the mouth of the follicle. Now these two products, this one here, Deca Plus Satin Pomade, and Nature's Blessings, they have this company has 10 plus essential oils. I'm going to say Nature's Blessing must have about 20, 15 to 20. I didn't count them. So they have about 15 to 20 essential oils. So what happens is when you use a little bit of this on the scalp, some of the ingredients have detoxifying qualities to break down a lot of the goo that's dislodged in the follicle that's keeping the hair from growing out. You see what I'm saying? And it's like a little Drano action where it's going to break that down, and the hair will, when you wash it, it's going to come through. Some of them are also, when you swipe like satin pomade, the essential oils go down to the hair bulb, right? And that's where the nourishment is, so that it's going to nourish the hair so that when it grows out, it's strong and it's not snapping. So as you can see, hair greases and hair pomades, they can serve a very important role as being a supplement to help complement, diet, exercise, bowel movements, sleep, and water intake. They can also complement medications. They can also complement hairstyling techniques. So it varies depending on what you want to see happen, to your hair. Again, if something serious is going on, it's imperative that you talk to your doctor. If you want to know what's the best foods to eat, how much water to drink, you're going to talk to a nutritionist. Licensed cosmetologist, we're about styling hair, and we can get a lot of our certifications and our continuing education in these types of topics, but we cannot diagnose because those are medical conditions. So even with my training in trichology, even with my training in hair and scalp disorders, it's really all about helping me to communicate with you, helping you to understand, motivating you, encouraging you to talk to those professionals when you need to. So that's what the training is all about. Our education is training. It is not in lieu of medical practitioners and certain holistic or naturopathic practitioners, because they have more education and their certification requirements are a lot higher. So there are levels when it comes to understanding hair and scalp, and I want to make that abundantly clear, and I want you, the consumer, to understand that you not only have power in your dollars, but you also have power in your mind. And my videos are about giving you that information and that education so that you can make that powerful choice to buy or not to buy, as long as it's the right products, the right tools, and the right techniques. You know what? All of these can be great for your hair, all right? So there you have it. That was a deep dive into hair greases versus hair pomades. I hope you guys really, really found this nice and helpful. Again, please share the video. If you like the information, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. If there is a topic or a video that you would like for me to record or speak about, by all means, just type it in the comment section. I will give you a shout out and oblige your every request. You can find my books at lwritebooks.com. That's in the link. You can find my hair care products at Shopify Global Hair Care. And then I'm also going to be starting an Amazon store in the next few days. And I think I got everything. Okay. I forgot. I do have a Patreon page that's for home hair care. So I'm going to be uploading some new content to that probably in the next 2 days, because every month I upload new content on Patreon. And so again, I appreciate you all support very much. You can find me on all the social media platforms. You know, just get on there and just type in LaDosha Wright, and everything's gonna come up. The Reverence Design Team, you name it, I got you all faded. So I appreciate you guys very, very, very much. And you know what I say when I'm always signing out, right? A whole lot of peace, a whole lot of love, and a whole lot of hair. Now, if you ain't got no hair, ain't interested in no hair, can't grow no hair, ain't finna go buy no more hair, don't worry. All you gotta do is just rub your beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bald head. All right? Thank you guys. I love you.